We're heading into spring, and I am talking about Summer Catch. How I would have ended Summer Catch, the movie that stars Jessica Biel and Freddie Prinze Jr., had I been the producer, director, writer, or even the star. I don't know. How I would have ended Summer Catch, coming up right now. Alright, so how I would have ended Summer Catch. But before we get to that main event, let me introduce myself, of course. My name is Leigh Dickey, comedian, actor, producer, reviewer, and the man who is talking about Summer Catch as we head into spring. If this is your first time here, please hit the subscribe button. Follow along on social media at Leigh Dickey. Visit my official website, leightdickey.com. Subscribe here to the Leigh Dickey TV YouTube channel. All right, now that all the housekeeping is out of the way, before I forget, on your favorite podcast app and player of choice, you will find both my shows, the Beats and Speaks podcast and Yo Nostalgia, which this episode will probably go up on. So please do leave us a review and rate us 5 stars if you would, please, and thank you. All right, now that all the housekeeping is out of the way, let's get into how I would have ended Summer Catch, the movie starring Jessica Biel and Freddie Prinze Jr. right now. So, how I would have ended Summer Catch. Like I said, it stars Freddie Prinze Jr. as Ryan Dunn, a collegiate baseball pitcher who has dreams of playing in the major leagues, and Jessica Biel as Tenley Parrish, a wealthy girl whose father doesn't approve of basically anything she does, or a relationship that she strikes up with Freddie Prinze's character, Ryan Dunn. Let's get into how I would end it, coming up, well, right now. So basically, Ryan Dunn, Freddie Prinze's character, moves back. He plays collegiate baseball, and he moves back home to, I guess, help his father, who's played by Fred Ward, and Jessica Biel's character. They live in the same town, Freddie Prinze, and Jessica Biel's character, Tenley Parrish, which I thought was a unique name. Tenley, I've never heard that before. It's probably the only time I've ever heard the name Tenley. Parrish, not so strange, because my last high school principal, her last name was Parrish, so I've heard that before. I'd never heard the name Tenley. I've never had that, it's just, I guess, if you need a unique name for a movie, there you go, Tenley Parrish. So basically, Freddie Prinze and Jessica Biel's characters live in this same town. Ryan Dunn, played by Freddie Prinze, is a collegiate baseball pitcher, dreams of playing in the major leagues, moves back home to help his father, and Tenley Parrish, played by Jessica Biel, has a wealthy father, and they live in the same town, but the father doesn't approve of anything Biel's character does, constantly calls her an embarrassment, and yada yada yada. So these two characters, Dunn and Parrish, they strike up a relationship, they get together, they go through a summer of basically being in a relationship. This is an entire summer playing out in like 90 minutes. So they strike up a relationship, they go through a summer, and Ryan's like struggling with baseball. He's struggling with just getting it together because he plays a collegiate baseball pitcher, right? He just has all these dreams and wants it so badly. Like, you can taste it. And to be honest, a 12-year-old me had a massive crush on Jessica Biel, and then Justin Timberlake went and married her, the lucky guy. So, I mean, I wanted to see it because A, I had a crush on Jessica Biel. B, I've always liked Freddie Prinze's work. C, I'm a giant baseball fan, right? I wanted to go see it. My parents said no, and ironically, once this movie was done its theatrical run, it made its way onto the over-the-air sort of movie networks. So I saw it on TMN at the time, which I got for free, and I loved the movie then. I still like it now. I've watched it 2 nights in a row, and man, it's baseball, it's a rom-com, and I'm a total sap for a rom-com, so this is right up my alley. Baseball, sports, rom-com, and Jessica Biel, Freddie Prinze, why not, right? So, his character Freddie Prinze's character just wants baseball so bad, right? He wants to play in the majors so bad. and Jessica Biel's character, like, they strike up a relationship. Her father doesn't approve. Her father's played by Bruce Davison. And, you know, they break up, decide to go their separate ways. Biel's character is going to go to San Francisco, and Prinze, his character, is going to pursue baseball without her. Like, he's just going to do his thing, right? He's going to go wherever he needs to pursue baseball, but he doesn't want Biel's character, Tenley Parrish, to come with him. So they just split up. They go their separate ways. And then her father, who's been just pushing her to go to San Francisco, just finally says, go with him. And she's like, well, he doesn't want me to go, but I'm going to go to San Francisco because that's what you've wanted, and you've gotten everything you want. Right? So that's basically a synopsis on the film. And, like, getting to the end here, they split up. They're not together at this point. You know, Ryan Dunn, Freddie Prinze, his character's got to pitch the game of his life. And he does. He gets to within 2 outs of a no-hitter. Now, if you're not familiar with baseball, a no-hitter, basically, like, nobody gets hit, and you get all the outs, right? Without strikeouts or whatever, just no ball touches the ground if it's in fair play. Like, nothing. Just to get a no-hitter, it's becoming more common now, but back in those days, it wasn't all that common. So, just to get a no-hitter in baseball is rare, and it's exciting. Okay? Like, even getting a 2-hitter now is amazing, because these games go 9 innings, and you're facing 27 batters. And it just goes to show you, like, the level of sort of athleticism that happens in baseball or even any other sport, but you get what I'm getting at. So, at the end of the movie, I'm getting towards the end here, Ryan Dunn is pitching his heart out, okay? And, like, he's within 2 outs of a no-hitter, and he's just like, man, you know, he sees Jessica Biel's character, Tenley Parrish, in the stands, and sort of flashes back to, then they play the audio back anyway. There's no, like, well, there are a few visual representations, but not many. It's mainly the audio. And he sees Biel in the stands, and then he's just like, I think he comes to a realization where it's like, I love her, right? So Matt Lillard, who's also in this movie. The movie also stars Matthew Lillard, who's currently, like, he's been the voice of Shaggy from the Scooby-Doo cartoons and movies since, like, I think 2006, something like that. Maybe 2008. He's also, and then you've got Wilmer Valderrama's also in this movie. So That 70s Show. He's currently Nick Torres on NCIS. And, like, he just has this sort of epiphany, I guess, where he's just like, I love her, I want to be with her, I got to get out of the game. So he takes himself out of the game. He calls Lillard over, like Matthew Lillard over, his character, and just says, give it to my closer, he's got this, no problem. Like, I know I'm within 2 outs of a no-hitter, but, like, this no-hitter won't even make the Globe or, like, whatever newspaper they have. So he's just like, yeah, get the closer in here, I got to go after this girl. So he gets in a car driven by a couple of his buddies, and just is like, go, 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 go. Like, he tells his teammates and everybody around him on the mound before he exits, like, I love her, I gotta go. And they're all like, congratulations, sunshine, like, congratulations, kid. And he just, you know, hops in the car and then goes to meet Tenley Parrish, Jessica Biel, at the airport. Right? And it's just, like, it's cool, it's great. Like, he has this one line in this entire wrap-up sequence that made me chuckle. It made me chuckle at 12. It made me chuckle 20 years later. The line in question, you know, he's in this car, and they catch up to Tenley Parrish, Jessica Biel, at the airport. So he yells out her name. She turns around. He jumps out of the car, like, doesn't even open the door, just jumps out of the car, and then runs to her, stops, and says, I love her. Like, he's out of breath. Just, I love her, which made me chuckle, all right? Makes me chuckle 20 years after I saw it. It made me chuckle when I saw it initially 20 years ago. So, I chuckled. I thought it was funny because, well, it's supposed to be a romantic comedy. It's a rom-com. Sure, could be considered cheesy, but you know what? I love that sort of stuff, okay? I live for the cheese. I live for the rom-com, all right? Give me all the rom-com. Give me all the cheese that you want. So he stops when when he gets in front of her, he stops. And he's just like, I love her. And he's out of breath. And Jessica Biel as Tenley Parrish just goes, what? I mean, you. Love you. And then her character responds, love you too. He's just like, look, don't go to San Francisco. And then I don't want to go to San Francisco. Okay, great. Stay. You go back to school. We will be together. I just need you to tell me that we're going to be okay, that we're going to be together. And she's like, yeah, like, we'll make it work. So the entire time this is happening, a small crowd is gathering around. Like, he's got two friends that came in the car with him, and then, like, his dad comes in a car, and a scout from a Major League Baseball team, but I'll get to that in a second. So they decide, like, let's be together, all that sort of stuff. And that's the thing. That was one of those lines. Let's be together. I mean, that's how you put a button on this thing. I'm like, to be fair, who am I to criticize the writing? I mean, it was a theatrically released movie. Pardon my stumbling over my own tongue. Like, okay, fine. But I probably wouldn't have used let's be together as the button right before they go in for that final kiss. But I'll get to that. So, small crowd. You've got Ryan Dunn's father, played by Fred Ward, coming up, and then they're followed by a scout, right? Like, they've decided to be together, these two characters, and, so the scout sort of approaches Freddie Prinze's character and says, yeah, like, you brought this stuff tonight, you pitched your heart out, and I'm paraphrasing, by the way, but pretty much he offers him a spot on a Philadelphia Phillies minor league team. And he offers him like 50 grand. His father goes, yeah, 75, right? So they negotiate. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, 75,000, right? Everybody's got a bit of a surprised look because it's like 50 grand and the guy's been playing collegiate baseball. He's in this summer league. Like 50 grand. Like, yeah, I probably would have taken 50 grand. And his dad was like, yeah, 75. And then, the scout and his father shake on it. And they decide to be together. Let's be together. And they kiss. And then it cuts to, Ryan Dunn's friends and family in a bar watching Dunn on TV as he makes his debut with the Philadelphia Phillies. Sort of, I don't know whether it's starting gig or in relief, but he's the pitcher on the mound in a Philadelphia Phillies uniform, and they have Ken Griffey Jr. at the plate at the time, who was playing for the Cincinnati Reds. So this movie came out in like 2001. Pretty sure they filmed it in like 2000, maybe, because I think that was his first or second year with the Cincinnati Reds. And at the time, the Reds played at Synergy Field. So, it cuts to what is basically the end. Ryan Dunn, Freddie Prinze's character, made it to the major league level. He's facing Ken Griffey Jr., throws a pitch down the middle, like he shakes off the original pitch that his catcher wanted him to throw, agrees on throwing him a fastball down the middle, and then Ken Griffey just launches it over the wall, over the Welcome to Synergy Field sign. And, the announcer's like, welcome to the show. And then you just see Freddie Prinze on the TV turn around sort of in disbelief. He's like, man, I guess he's got that look where it's like, yeah, this is baseball and I love it. And he's just sort of like, okay, whatever, on to the next. He's surprised, he's happy. And, they go into the credit sequence. Now, how I would have ended that is I would have had him pitch the no-hitter, have him get the no-hitter, right? But I would still have him meet Tenley Parrish, Jessica Biel's character, at the airport, okay? So yes, I'd have him get the no-hitter and then meet Tenley Parrish, Jessica Biel, at the airport. But here's the kicker. I'd have Jessica Biel's character, Tenley Parrish, get on the airplane, and just as the door is shutting, I'd have Ryan's on Freddie Prinze, like, just jump out of that car, run to the plane, grab the door, hold it there for a couple seconds, and just pull that door down, right? And then just have Biel standing at the door, right? Just have her standing there, have him pull it down, and then just have a real, like, surprised look on her face. Have Prinze be absolutely exhausted. Not that he isn't. I mean, like, he's pitching a baseball game is a lot of hard work anyhow, and not to mention you're running this whole time. So, you know, have her stand at the door, like, after he pulls it down, with a real surprised look on her face, and then her go, Ryan, what are you doing here? Like, what is this? Right? And then he's just like, wait a minute. And then just have Freddie Prinze, Ryan Dunn, wait a minute. Don't go. Stay. I love you. Okay? Just, I love you. And just have him say it twice. And then just have her, like, sort of stand there, kind of bewildered and surprised and happy. And then just, I would have her say it back, tell, you know, Prinze, yeah, I love you too. And then have everybody else that was actually in that ending scene that came up when he got the opportunity to go to the Phillies minor league system. Yeah, and then you go through that same old negotiation, and they figure out, like, what they're going to do and make it work. And then they have a kiss, and then instead of, they make it work, and then they figure everything out. Like, you know, you go through the negotiation, they kiss, and then you get a crossfade, right? We're going to keep the Freddie Prinze pitching to Ken Griffey Jr., giving up that home run in the movie, but you get Biel and Prinze to kiss, okay? And instead of having his friends and family in the bar, follow me for a second, you have them in the stands at Synergy Field. You crossfade from that kiss between Prinze and Biel's characters, right? They say I love you, all that stuff. Crossfade to them in the stands, and then you hear, and here's the announcer, and here's the pitch with Prinze's character on the mound, and you just hear crack, right? So you cut, and you've got a shot of the family and friends. Want Biel in the crowd as well, probably, yeah. And then you sort of, they're surprised because crack. We all know what it sounds like when somebody hits a home run, right? Plus, it's Ken Griffey Jr. Of course he's going to hit a home run. And it's just shot of the family and friends. They're in the crowd. Surprised look on their face when they hear that crack, the sound of the bat hitting that home run. And then a shot of the ball in the air. Shot of the outfielder trying to get it, and then home run, it's gone. Welcome to the show, Ryan Dunn. Cut back to Freddie Prinze Jr., who's on the mound a bit like, well, I gave up that home run. I guess this is professional baseball. And then you go to credits, and then you just freeze frame on that look, and then you just go to credits. And that's how I would have ended Summer Catch. That would be my ending. I don't know, maybe that would just, for me, that would be the perfect way to end it. Not that, like, you know, the ending is bad. I'd incorporate things from that ending, but I would just change them a little bit. I would tweak things slightly. So that's how I would sort of tweak things and sort of write my own ending to Summer Catch, which I loved when I was 12. I still love it 20 years later. Had a massive crush on Jessica Biel. Always been a fan of Freddie Prinze Jr.'s work. And I'm a giant sucker for rom-coms. You can't really go wrong, right? So there it is, how I would end the movie Summer Catch, or how I would have ended Summer Catch had I been the writer, director, producer, or star. I mean, not to mention, what am I going to say? Freddie Prinze, you can't star in this movie? It's his movie. Have him take it. He does a fantastic job in it. So, that's how I would end it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. Find this on Yo Nostalgia on your favorite podcast app and player of choice. Leave us a review, rate us 5 stars, subscribe here to Leigh Dickey TV on YouTube. If you want more videos like this, let me know down in the comments below. Please do visit my official website, LeighTDickey.com, and follow me on social media at LeighTDickey. All the information and all the links you need are in the cards and in the description. All right, this wraps up another episode and another video. Thanks again for watching. I've been Leigh Dickey, and I am signing off. You guys are the greatest. Thanks again. Take care, and we'll talk to you later. Peace.